back to another episode of See More Shenanigans.
What up, what up, what up, what up?
What we gonna do it? Again. Y'all, today we is talking to y'all about money. What I need my money on?
I need my money on time.
That part. Anyways, yeah, so we want to talk about finances today. And just all type of capacities, right?
Oh, yeah.
Especially because finances in relationships and in marriages are extremely important. And a lot of people do not discuss finances before they get married. What you think?
They don't. They think that, oh, we married now, so now let's have this discussion on finances. No, you need to have that discussion before the marriage, preferably before the engagement.
Yeah. Back
into the dating phase, so that way you all at least know where each other stands.
What's all this on your face? Boy, out here looking crusty.
Had a flu hoodie on.
What's going on? What is going on?
It was showing.
Sir, get it together.
We did.
Anyway, okay, so yes, you feel like finances should be discussed during the dating phase.
The dating phase.
I wholeheartedly agree. But it's interesting that you feel like it should be discussed during the dating phase.
Well, let me clarify that. I'll say...
He want to clarify because he know I'm finna pull a piece of receipt that's probably gonna contradict what he said.
After you guys have been dating for a while, and you are in an exclusive relationship with each other, so you're past kind of that dating phase, but you're in that this is my boyfriend, this is my girlfriend. We're dating. We're thinking of maybe some couples believe moving in together. They want to be able to make that next step before move in together or before the engagement or anything like that. You should have that discussion before you continue to go on to that next step when you're thinking about trying to plan your life with that person.
So once they are in a committed relationship, you feel like that should be discussed?
Yes.
Okay. I disagree. I feel like it should be discussed during the dating phase before you even commit. And I'm not saying you gotta tell that person everything that's in your bank account and vice versa, but it needs to be discussed, like, what are your money management habits looking like? Like, do you guys do loans? Do you got debt in general that outside of student loans? A lot of folks, we let them student loans in the hands of the Lord, okay?
Yeah.
But other debt, right, needs to be discussed, because if I'm having a conversation with you and you don't know how to manage money, and I'm also going to be observant, why would I think you all of a sudden going to know how to manage money when we engaged or when we get married or whatever the case may be? I do feel like it should be discussed beforehand, even before you commit to that person. And when I talk about management, I'm also talking about how much you make too. Mm-hmm. Because I also think that people be dating outside of their tax bracket and they shouldn't. And that can be above your tax bracket or below. I'll get into that too at some point. But I feel like it should be discussed beforehand. And so here's that piece of receipt that I was going to bring up, right? When we started dating, so we started dating in 2017, December 2017. I want to say sometime in 2018, if my memory serves me correct, I was asking you about finances, or I could be thinking the beginning of 2019. I can't remember all the way. You remember?
No. It was early though. It was. Okay, I'm gonna say 2018.
First I'm gonna say this. When we were dating, because it's so many places I want to take this. When we were dating, I remember you were so big on not big on finances, but you were like, well, I always gotta take you out, pay for all these days to show you that I'm interested in you. I gotta pay, right? I feel like they're still going to finance just in general, because it's about spending money. I gotta pay for this, and I'm like, boy, we could compare bank accounts right now, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Remember, and you like, what? I'm like, that's what you do. When you date somebody, you court them. You pay for dates. You buy little stuff. And it wasn't like I was asking for like the major stuff, y'all. I wasn't at all. I was just like, buy me a little edible arrangement. Buy me a little, something that you thought of, like simple stuff. And it wasn't all the time. But I don't know, in your brain, you must be used to women using you or something. Because I reciprocate energy, do I not?
That is correct.
Okay then. So it was never nothing for me to give the same as what I was asking. Right? And so I started thinking like, he broke? You ain't got no money? You ain't got no money? You ain't got no car. You ain't got no clothes. But I started thinking like, is it broke or something like, because I'm asking, it's like simple stuff and whatnot. And then over time, I was like, and I think the whole, and this is my memory, you can correct me if it's something, if you remember it another way, but it was like, I was like, we can compare bank accounts, bro. Like, I got my own money. I don't need your money. Like, I legit got my own money. And you was like, I think you shied away from it, like, it ain't that deep. Like, it's alright. And I'm like, nah, because you just tried to play in my face. Would you say it went about something like that? You remember?
Yeah, it was something to that effect.
But you remembered me telling you we can compare bank accounts, though.
Yeah, I remember that.
Exactly, because I'm like, I got my own money. But as time goes on, I think we started having a conversation. Cause that was in the beginning. That part was like the beginning of 2018. I think as 2018 kept going, we realized that we really we was being serious about this. We then had to have that conversation again. And it became more in depth, and I think this is like where you're saying like, okay, now like we can have those conversations. While I was like, no, we got these conversations right now. Date number 3, what's up?
Right, and that for me, I was thinking like, it's a little too early for that. Like, you don't even know we like each other like that. Like we were still having fun, so I'm just thinking like, yo, we keeping it fun, lighthearted, and all of that. But it was like, we didn't even know if we like each other, right?
One thing that he knew he knew.
I mean, I knew I liked her, but I just thought it was like big. It was like third, fourth date. Why are we talking about it now?
Because I feel like if you could talk about sex in the first couple of days, because that's what y'all people be talking about, y'all men, you could talk about finances. Am I right or am I right?
Oh Lord. I can neither confirm nor deny.
Exactly, because if you could talk about sex, because that's a whole nother. That's more.
You right. If you can talk about both, yes.
Exactly. Period.
That is.
And so
that is correct.
As time went on, like I said, towards the end of 2018, we was like, okay, we've been dating for almost a year, or this relationship, whatever, almost a year at this point. What we doing moving forward, right? And so now I need to know what that credit score was like. Because now you got to pull out all this shit. Yeah, I remember because this was around New Year's and we was playing and we was talking about our goals for the next year. And we was talking. And I remember, I'm like, what that credit score like? What that bank account like? The po baby. That's all I'm going to say. The po baby.
Your hands cold.
Nah, he just salty. The po baby credit score was not hitting, okay? I don't know why, but it just wasn't hitting. And so what did I do?
Thought of a plan for us to get it together.
Yep. And then next year, I think, because it was like the January, February, because I remember still calling us out of 2019. We went to the bank. And I put you on one of my credit. We went to see. I think if you get a credit card with your job, with your bank, then one of them, the ones that's like you kind of use your own money until you get to a certain point, and then it builds your credit, and then it turns into a regular credit card or something like that. And then because I think you didn't qualify for like the regular bank account or regular credit card, and the lady was like, "Oh, you can do this." And then what I did was put him on all of my major credit cards, and by the end of that year, his credit score was like, psh. You know what the Bible say? He who finds a good woman finds a good wife. What's the words?
Yeah.
Is that the words?
Something like that.
Something like that, either way. Now, during that process, you can keep it real with the peoples. At any point, did you feel like less of a man or emasculated?
I felt a little uneasy at first. Well, just me personally, I don't like a lot of times asking for help, because a lot of times when people ask you maybe ask for help or they help you, eventually down the line it comes up and it's thrown in your face. So it's one of those things like, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it on my own. Like, so it was to that, and it's also one of like, and now I gotta trust you to be able to do, like, you say you gonna do this or do that. So I was a little on the fence about it, but I was like, you know what? I trust your character and how you do things and all that. So you know what? I'ma just go and see what happens. And I was like, I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna do what I have to do, so that way this will be good, and it don't have to come back and bite me, and it doesn't get to that point. So that was my ultimate like end goal, was like, hey, let me do my part to get to where I'm at, so that way we can be there. Like, she helped me get this, let me bring it to the finish line.
Yeah.
So that's what my point was.
Yeah. Okay. At least he told ya.
And just for the record, my credit score wasn't high enough because I didn't have enough credit. So I had to generate credit because I didn't have that history before things got.
Yeah. It wasn't like he killed his credit or anything like that.
So.
He like, nah, let me tell you what it is. But you seem so far that people gonna think you don't like me.
Cause you cold.
Come on, I'm cold. My hands cold.
Yes.
You'll be alright. But no. Yeah, no, that was the case. Whereas for me, my mother had made sure that, I think I was in high school, she put me on one of her credit cards, so that generated my good credit score, and I kept it up. And I still keep it up. So that was just an advantage that I had versus him. But yeah, and so I think even with finances, like, would you say that even to this day, finances is still a difficult topic to discuss? Even though we're married, do you still feel like it's a difficult topic to discuss at times, or all the time, for you?
Sometimes it is. Because it's one of those things where having to think of a plan. And it's one of those things where you have a plan in your head, the other person has a plan in your head. So now it's one of those things like trying to compromise and see where the plan works for both parties involved. Even you may be on the same page, but you may have different viewpoints. So now it's trying to, well, how do we get from here to here? How do we get to here? So sometimes you may be thinking of things like that, like, it's not a difficult decision, but it's one of those things where it's like, you have the same end goal, but how do you go about that? Which may be sometimes the difficult point, because it's one of those things where it's like, but it's also maybe enlightening, because you may be thinking, oh, I'm thinking of it like this, blah blah blah, but the way you just thought about it, like, oh, that may be even that may be even easier, more tangible. So it's all I would say yes and I would say no, because it all depends on if sometimes it may be you got in your head and all that, and a person may do it, and initially it may feel like, man, that's a little bit more harder, but then you may have to be like, oh, this may work for me, but it may not necessarily work for you. So now we have to go back to the drawing board. It's kind of both yes or no, but it's not, yes and no. But it's gotten easier for us a lot. So like from where we first started, and
do you think so?
Yeah,
it got easier for who, you?
For both of us, like being able to like talk about like, hey,
it was never hard for me.
Well, yeah, it was never hard. Well, for me.
I'm about to say, we ain't French. Shit. It was never hard for me. It was hard for you.
Yeah.
And you feel like it has gotten easier for you to talk about finances?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I can show you like, hey, look at this.
Is it? Let's dissect that a little bit. Do you feel like it's gotten easier if I bring up the topic, or if you bring up the topic, or both?
I think it's gotten easier, like, for us to have the discussion.
No, this is what I'm saying. I think it's gotten easier for you to talk about it if I bring the conversation up. You don't bring up the conversation of finances unless I'm in a twilight zone. You ain't ever brought up the conversation of finances, like planning. So let's let the record show I like run our finances in our household, like just making sure everything is like in order, everything is straight. Like I cover the books basically, right? I'm a bookie. Is that what I mean? I don't know, whatever. But like I do all those things. So I'm usually the one, and this is my opinion, I'm usually the one constantly bringing up the conversation if some adjustment needs to be made, or we gotta work on something, or we gotta like put a budget in place for something very particular. And you just be like, la. And I be over here questioning the numbers like the other thing with the calculator. And you just be like, and I be like, do you wanna come and step into my office and sit down so we can talk about these books here? Would you agree or disagree?
No, I agree.
So then, does that mean that you're still uncomfortable initiating the conversation around finance or money just in general?
No, I just don't think. Well, it's one of those conversations that you sometimes have to constantly, I guess, keep having because things happen. But I just be like, oh, okay, well, I think we good, so let's keep it moving. Like we got the plan.
In your mind, you be thinking that like, oh, we good?
Yeah, like.
But are you thinking it because nothing has come up, or nothing has been stated, or nothing has changed?
Maybe. I know you. If something comes up and changes, you will say like, oh, hey, this came up with this change or something like that.
So from your standpoint, you don't feel like, from your standpoint, nothing is changing. Like you're not seeing any moving parts that's changing. And so what you're saying is I'm usually one who sees it or catches something that's changing. And so that's why it's like for you, you're like, oh, you gave me a plan, so I'm just sticking to this plan. Right. I'm not thinking nothing of it. Right, but guess what? I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. That's the little card. You still need to initiate to make sure the plan still works. You can't just be in la land. Cause let me tell y'all, sometimes he don't be sticking to the plan. He don't even be realizing he fell off the plan. It's like, sir, you know you're not supposed to do that. He's like, oh snap. My bad. We gotta rework it. Yes, we gotta rework it. And it'll be like slight adjustments and whatnot. But I think for me, I'm a very open book about just in a lot of stuff, unless it's something that's like very sacred and private to me. So like having conversations about finances or anything really, it works because I was like, I mean it's easy because I'm like, look, this because I've been thinking about my livelihood and I've been trying to plan my retirement because I'm going to retire at 50. So I'm always like running them numbers on a weekly basis to see if anything has been adjusted. Or I'm like, hey, what's going on here with work? Or, you know, Are you getting a pay increase this year, or is your bonus the next year, or what's that, the raise next year, or what that's looking like, so that we can, alter. And I plan all of our vacations. I plan all of our outings for the most part, and anybody's birthday, if y'all get a gift, it came from me. Jarvis don't like y'all like that. But no, seriously, because I purchase all those things, I'm always looking at the stuff. So I can see why you just being la la land sometimes, because you're like, well, you gave me a plan, so I'm gonna stick to the plan until you tell me the plan ain't working. But I think sometimes for me, it would be nice if you can say, is this plan still good? It's been like 2 months, we ain't said nothing about it, we still good? And then, because that, at least that lets me know that you are actually invested in paying attention, right? And wanting to make sure we don't derail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that'd be nice if you can do that for me, buddy or pal.
Okay.
I think the other thing about finances too is just like, income changes. And that'd be a big thing, right?
Yeah.
Income changes. Like we've had our experience with your income being adjusted when you was off work for a while. For that incident at work, or whatever. And then when you were in training, so your income was slightly smaller than normal.
Right.
And so it's one of those things where you're like, oh shit, because I be living my best life in my own, like he be in his own way, I be in my own way too. But I be in my own way because I know exactly what my income is, because I work for myself. And so like, when things change for you, would you agree? When things change for you, I now have to like kind of adjust me being in my own world, because I need to be able to account and pick up wherever you may be lacking for the short term due to like what's happening at work, right?
Right.
And that's hard. Like, and that's some of the stuff like people don't talk about. Like, that is hard sometimes, because it's like it puts restrictions on you as an individual of what you probably were like just used to doing. And I think it would be hard for you too, right?
Definitely, because I know me. I'm the type of person like, I'll have some money if I got some money. I don't necessarily have to spend it.
Yeah.
But as long as I know it's there and I can look and see it and feel, I'm like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah.
And I don't even necessarily have to do anything with that money, but if I know it's there, and I can use it at a moment's notice, I'll be fine with that.
Yeah. I don't necessarily spend all my money either, so don't think that just because that's what he said about himself. Because one thing about me, I like all my accounts to have a threshold that I don't like to go under. And when I do go under, I be sick, don't I? I be stressed. He be probably get ready to call the paramedics because I'm sick. I hate it. I be like, what the? But it be hard, I think people, like I said, people don't talk about finances enough in the ebbs and flow of it all. Just being married, because it's not always easy. Because a lot of people, and another thing is, a lot of people think that, oh, y'all a 2-income household. Y'all ain't got no problems.
You heard the song Biggie, more money, more problems.
That's right.
Exactly.
That really exists. And it's not necessarily more money, more problems because we have bad money management.
Right.
It's like and this is just us being transparent, when we moved into a house, we understood it comes with its own responsibilities. But we ain't understand, for real, that should have knocked you off your feet.
Hey.
Because we've been in this house since, for 4 years almost?
Be 4 years coming up.
And I ain't got no wood up in here, but knock on wood, yeah, the flow is real wood. Every year it's been a major issue that came up. Remember the first year was the plumbing in the backyard, $8,000 job. Who the hell had $8,000 just laying around? Like, we had only been living in the house for 6-7 months or so. I don't know.
About a year.
Was it a year?
Yeah, it was about a year.
Oh, whatever. But ridiculous, right? And then the next time it was some other flaring thing. Oh, our toilet was running. I told him the toilet was running. He said, no, that tool is just making regular noises. You remember that?
I remember that.
He got a damn $2,700 water bill in the mail one day. And I had to call the people. I said, what is this? They said, if something is running. I said, if y'all noticed that it was abnormal activity going on, why didn't nobody say nothing? Why didn't nobody say nothing? And so we came out, had to pay the people to come out. Good thing we got homeowners warranty. Mm-hmm. It's only, we paid the deductible $125. Do y'all know that we paid them the $120? A damn rubber band that's in the toilet is what caused all this problem. Mm-hmm. I was so mad. But not only was I mad about that rubber band, I was really mad because somebody did not listen to me when I said, I think that toilet is running. But you know, I just thought maybe I'm tweaking, cause any abnormal sound, I start to be like, call the people. So I do that when it comes to any random pain in my body. I go right to the doctor. What is this? So yeah, and then it was another time our furnace went out.
Yep.
Child, shout out to the home warranty, because that went from an $8,000 bill to only about a $1,500, $1,600, $1,800 bill from us. So it's like, those are big. And mind you, some of that stuff was happening when he was either off work because of the incident that happened at work, or he was in training, which means income was, we were strapped on income, like what is happening?
Yeah.
Trying not to like deplete bank accounts or whatever, but we had to keep having conversations regularly. I think during those times, our conversations was like weekly or bi-weekly at that point, like, okay, what's happening now? Is there any wiggle room here? What if I take on more clients here? What does that look like? All this other stuff. And it's stress. And one thing, like, if your finances ain't right, I feel like it caused so much stress. And it was a lot of stress in me. And I feel like for you too a little bit. I think you probably even like was feeling a little almost depressed about it or sad.
Yeah, it was very, yeah.
Yeah, because it was just a lot, you know. Because one thing about Jarvis, like he said, if he had money sitting in his account, he's okay. But when his money ain't money in like it needs to be, and he can't clock that overtime or whatever just to get, like, even if it's like, you know, we need to pay for this because this was an unexpected bill, it used to be so easy to be like, oh, let me just go get some overtime real quick. I'm just do overtime for this month, and then it'll cover that bill or whatever that unexpected cost was. And so during those times, it wasn't that you didn't have that ability. So he walking around here sad, I'm walking around here, chest hurt, stress, can't sleep, eye twitching, like what's happening here? But I would say we always come through, I feel like.
Absolutely. Like
come out on the other side. What you think?
We do. It's just one of those things where, you know, when you're able to look back on it, it's one of those tests in your relationship and your marriage where it's like, okay, well, how did you get through this?
Yeah.
And the most honest is like having faith in God and just sticking to the plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sticking to the plan with each other.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because some of those sacrifices that had to be made was tough.
Very.
Like, dang, I can't go out of town. Like, right now, we are in a sacrifice moment of, like, you know, no vacations for a while. Just because, like, certain things we want to pay off and in preparation for what's to come next year. So it's like, all right, let's not do too much. Let's, like, be very strict budget right now. I think the plan is working so far. You're literally still you're in a training right now as we speak.
Wow, yeah, almost about a year.
It's been about a year at this point. I'm up here thinking about the trainings from last year and forgot you in a training right now.
Yeah.
Don't know when it's ending yet. And so it's like, okay, certain things, you know, you can't move as freely as you would like.
You can't.
You know, because we weren't born with a silver spoon in our mouth. We don't got, you know, generational wealth to that magnitude. We ain't trust fund babies, but best believe when we have babies, they're going to be trust funds babies because I'm not playing. Hence, as to why we're making the sacrifices we're making now for this year.
Facts.
So, yeah. But I feel like money is one of those type, because literally I know one of the top 3 reasons why marriages end in divorce is money is one of those reasons, finances, because they don't have the conversations about it, everybody don't talk about it. And I know for some of y'all probably wondering like, do they share bank accounts? Yes and no. We have one bank account where certain household bills come out of, and then we got our own bank accounts where we do whatever we want. So we both just contribute certain amounts to that joint account for very specific bill stuff, household stuff like property taxes and all that other stuff, lawn services, whatever else we gotta pay.
Right.
So yeah, but that's just what works for us. Because one thing I don't want anybody to ever feel like is that you work hard for your money, I work hard for mine, and I don't want them to ever be like, oh well, I'm like pocket watching, like, oh, so you went to the store about that. And I do pocket watch sometimes if I know we on a strict budget and I see him come in his house too many days in a row with fast food. I do be on his case, but other than that, I be like, live your life, because just be responsible. You know what the plan is, stick to the plan type of deal. And so, but I'm just trying to get to financial freedom. What about you?
Absolutely. Financial freedom to do whatever you want with your money whenever you have the opportunity to.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about like being on a budget.
Yeah. So lame. Boo. Tomato. Anyways, baby, tell them, what's the question from our Black Love game? I think I'm scared right there.
The question: what would you do in life if money wasn't an issue?
Oh, I'd be outside. Now, I will literally be traveling somewhere every other month. Okay, once a quarter.
Once a quarter?
Yeah, that's every 3 months.
Yeah.
I would be traveling somewhere once a quarter.
That's true.
If life wasn't, if money wasn't.
If money wasn't an issue.
Yep, I would have multiple income properties. Would you like multiple income properties?
Absolutely.
Because, we just said generational wealth. What else? What would you do?
I would do some of what she's doing. I would be traveling.
Mm-hmm. You want to travel with me?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna travel with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to travel by yourself too? Maybe you sounding good. Travel with the guys. Maybe. All the driver's friends. I be telling him to go on a guys trip. I'm just saying.
That could be in the works. We could work on that.
Okay.
But also, one of those things is like, I will be able to enjoy myself. Like, if you think about it, a lot of the things that you do it to generate income.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things like, oh, I gotta go to work. Like, hey, I ain't going to work. Look, money ain't an issue. Look,
right.
What I need to go to work for? And a lot of times when you're doing something to generate income, a lot of times you're doing something that you really necessarily don't want to do.
Yeah, sometimes. So especially if you're not in a career or a job that you actually enjoy.
Exactly. So it's one of those things where it's like, no, I wouldn't want to be working. Work. No, we good.
I will be having my extravagant parties I like to throw. Because right now I'm allowed one party, well, kind of two, because we do a barbecue in the summer, and I'm allowed my Christmas party.
Yeah.
So I would do that, and then let's see, what else would I do? That was it, really.
That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Well, we hope y'all enjoy us being a little bit transparent and vulnerable about talking about finances. Don't be afraid to have those hard conversations, y'all, because it is important to have. And you want to just make sure on the same page. So, thank you for tuning in to another episode of See More Shenanigans. And we out.